YouTube, welcome to another Etheria restart video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and explain the way the summon system works. This is day one. I want to get this out right away so that way you guys can know which banners to summon on and which banners I myself have summoned on. And we'll go ahead and show you guys right away. Let's go ahead and get right into the summons. Now, for those of you who haven't watched my first video, I'm going to go ahead and repeat a little bit of the things that I went over in that first video. In that first video, I said probably don't want to summon on the Freya banner because in the closed beta test, I ended up actually pulling Freya in the permanent summon banner. So for those of you who don't know, these limited units are actually pullable in the permanent summon right away, which is very rare. The games normally have a limited banner and you can only pull the limited character in the limited banner. As of right now, at least, all of the limited characters immediately go into the permanent summon. Now, in the beginning of the game, you're going to be missing a ton of characters. As you see, 17 SSRs right here, and then another 6 right here. So you're going to be missing a ton of characters. The huge reason why everyone wants to be summoning on the permanent summon banner right now is because we're missing so many characters. In the future, once we start to have more of these permanent summon units, you most likely will be wanting specifically the new unit. But early on in the game, make sure all of your summons that you're using are going in to this permanent summon banner. Now, one other thing I want to mention is if you go to the summon shop right here, and you go to the hyperlink shop into the value section and scroll all the way to the bottom, you can claim a free gift right here for your value section freely daily or once period. And then you have a weekly one. If you scroll to the bottom right here, you're going to want to purchase these weekly ones. You first of all get a free weekly as well. And then you get a 10 summon right here for 800 crystals. That means you're going to get 2 summons for free and 50,000 gold for free. And I personally recommend buying these ones right here because they're the gold summons, and the gold summons give you the light and dark units. And as of right now, there's not really a good way to get the light and dark units. These are normally your premium PvP characters. If you don't really care for PvP, you could skip this, but if you plan on being like a PvP hardcore player, I recommend grabbing these. You are getting a little bit of value here. It's going to be 1,500 for 5 normally, so you're getting 1 summon for free and 50,000 gold. So I recommend grabbing this as well. Now let's go ahead and go back to the banners. Now let's go ahead and say which banner do you want to pull on. So the first banner right here is Freya banner. Freya is an insane character. I do think she's very good. She helps with a lot of dungeon fights, a lot of boss fights, because her abilities are insane as a support character. And even though she's a wind unit, you can still take her into things that she's weak against because she is a support character. She'll be buffing your team and helping them do more damage. That's going to be her main thing. So she's going to be a very good unit to have on your team. The problem is the permanent summon banner right now is just way better. The reason why, let's go ahead and look into the probabilities right here. If you pull on this banner, you're guaranteed to get Freya and nothing else, absolutely nothing else. You can get SRs, but no other SSR. If you look back on the permanent summon banner, you have a chance to get Freya on this banner, but if we scroll on down, we also have a chance to get these light and dark units. And again, these light and dark units are some of the best units in the game, especially for PvP. And the only way to get them is to do this banner right here, which if we go ahead and click this, you have to spend 300 crystals for 1 summon. Or if we go to the extra affinity summon right here and try to summon this, you can't even summon it unless you have the gold discs, which is why I was recommending to purchase those. So with those 2 things right there, I recommend that you guys summon on the permanent banner in the very beginning of the game. And honestly, probably for like maybe the first couple months of the game until you have a good amount of these characters, because we want a chance to get multiple of these characters and we want a chance to get any of these like dark units. Now, another thing that you might not have noticed is if we check on the probabilities and about the rules section right here, if we go around here and we read this right here, it just simply says the base drop rate is 1% with an overall drop rate of 1.8. You're guaranteed to obtain the Animus within 80 summons. With the SSR Animus guaranteed obtaining an SSR, the drop rate of an SR is 9%. You are guaranteed within 10 summons. So as you see right here, it has 0 mention of a soft pity. So this banner right here, the specific character banners don't have a soft pity. So you're highly, highly likely to go to pity on this banner right here. However, if you go on down to the permanent summon banner right here and we read this, go back to the about the rules section. If we look over here, it says, if you do not obtain an SSR Animus after 50 consecutive summons, the drop rate increases. And the increase, well, obviously we don't know what the increase is. I've seen pretty much everybody been pulling the SSR at around 60, maybe 70 at the highest. I have not seen anyone get to pity yet. I'm sure people have hit pity, but I myself personally, I've gotten like 60 summons and then bam, I pull the character almost every single time. So if you think of it that way, you're going to most likely pull a character after 60. You're saving 20 summons. That's a pretty big deal. So if you really, really care about the drop rate character right here, obviously go ahead and pull for it. If you don't specifically want Freya, permanent summons where you're at. And again, if we look at right here, we can see the probabilities in my summon record. I've never summoned on this banner. I have 0 summons on this banner. If we go ahead and look at the Light's Judgment, again, I have not summoned on this banner. If we go to our permanent summon banner right here, I have summoned a lot on this banner. And if we look at my last SSR received, I actually got Freya. So I'm totally glad that I avoided that limited banner, because if I would have summoned on that limited banner, I would have spent 80 summons, went over to my permanent summon banner, done another 60 summons, and then gotten a dupe Freya, and I'd have been like, okay, this account's dead. What have I done? This was a horrible mistake. Now, of course, I could pull another Freya on this permanent summon banner, absolutely, but at least this lowers my summons. I still saved like 20 summons grabbing that first Freya. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the targeted summon. Now, when should you use this targeted summon? Well, first of all, let's go ahead and check out the rules. The main thing I'm looking for here is, does this expire? No, I do not see that this thing expires at all. So with that in mind, that this banner does not expire, I recommend waiting on this banner as long as you possibly can on this. If there's just one unit you specifically want, go ahead and use it. But the big problem with this banner is there's no light and dark unit, right? So you don't really have a insane unit that you're going to need from the light and dark pool. So you're just going to be pulling from the permanent summon banner. And as you saw, we're going to be pulling a ton of units from the permanent summon banner. So if there's one specific unit that you're like, I just joined this game to play with Rosa, I just want to play with Rosa, I'm just going to pick Rosa. I don't care if I get a dupe of her, then go ahead and grab her. If you're struggling with like clearing Doki Doki or something, then go ahead and grab a good wind unit. Brimilka is a really good unit for that as well. There's a ton of different things that you could do, but I recommend just sitting on this banner, do a good amount of permanent summons, maybe do permanent summons for a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then after you've gotten all of your free summons out of the way and you start to get dried up on your summon currency, then that's when we go into our targeted summon to fill in whatever little gap we're looking at. Like if we've got all the other pieces but we're missing just one unit, this is what we want right here, is to save this targeted summon for whatever piece we're missing, be it like the last unit we need on our Doki Doki team or whatever. That's what we're saving this for. So that's the limited banner right here went over, the targeted banner went over, the permanent summon. Now let's go ahead and go over the light and dark summons. Now, for those of you who don't know, the light and dark summons have the same pull rate as I stated before, 80 pulls for this one. But if we go down to the extra affinity right here, this one is also 80. I did 5 pulls, sorry. And this one has the 50 consecutive summons drop rate increases as well. So what does this mean exactly? This means if you only want the on-banner character, since light and darks are so difficult to come across, I recommend just go ahead and whale for this, I guess, because it's going to be really expensive to get this on here. Plan to go to 80, and just know that if you're free to play, you're probably not going to want to summon on this banner because it's just so expensive. But if you're whaling, then obviously go ahead and pull for it. If you're free to play, I recommend grabbing these little gold ones. And then just, if you don't care about which unit you're going for, then go ahead and summon into this extra affinity summon to begin with, because you're going to get a random one. You're most likely going to get it at 60 instead of 80, which again is going to be multiplied by 3 on the crystals. So you're going to be saving, what is that? 3,000, 6,000, 9,000. You'll save up to like 9,000 crystals or 6,000 crystals most likely. So definitely a good idea to try to get your first light and dark unit from this banner, I think. You might even grab one from the permanent summon as well. But in my opinion, go ahead and use a few, maybe the first month or so, summon on the extra affinity summon, and then start saving up for the new light and dark units that will be coming out, which I guarantee are going to be must pulls, and you're going to want to pull them. So that's going to be my summoning strategy. And again, I'll show you guys that I've done my 5 summons because I bought those. You saw I bought those 5 crystals, or I bought those summons for the 12 crystals. We got the summon record right here. I actually got kind of decently lucky. Actually hasn't updated yet because I literally just did the summons. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. The only other final thing I want to go over actually is make sure you guys are buying the summons from the summon shop over here. You're going to be getting this currency for free, and you're going to want to buy out the purple ones first since they're the cheapest, and then these gold ones. So let's go ahead and actually, I got 2 extra summons right here, so let's go ahead and maybe get lucky at the end of this video. Come on, you guys deserve to see me get lucky, right? This will be my 6th summon on this banner. Probably not going to get anything. Again, pity on this banner is 50, so we're going to have to get to 50 for this. And then I'll be expecting something after 50. But we're only at 57. We're only at 7 summons, so got a long ways to go to get anything on this banner. But yeah, make sure you guys try to clear out that summon shop if you can. Problem is, it just takes so much credits to get to these 300, but I do like that they give you these gold summons from this section as well. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.